everyone, my name is John Rondi. I am 23 years old, a recent Rowan University graduate, and the creator and founder of Stunited. Quick story about myself: when I was a sophomore in college, I was up one night trying to write a paper. At this point, I was stuck. It was too late for me to call my professor, couldn't find the help online, and really couldn't afford a tutor. So what I did was I reached out to my friend from across the hall and explained to her the situation I was in. I said, listen, you're struggling in math, but you're good at writing. Help me revise this essay, and in return, I'll help you with your algebra class. She liked this idea because now she was doing something she enjoyed, and I liked the idea for the same reason. And it wasn't long until I started making sort of a business out of this, where I would offer my math skill in exchange for help in that writing class, in exchange for help in another class, in exchange for whatever I needed at that time. But then I realized I am not the only student with this thought process, right? The thought process of finding someone to help you in exchange for your help. So, to further validate my idea, I sent out a quick survey and asked students two questions. Number one, would you give academic help to get academic help? And 93% of them said yes. So I asked them the second question, and I said, when you are struggling in school, who do you normally go to? Do you pay a professional tutor, or do you work with another student? And 84% of them said they'd rather work with another student. So again, now I knew I had something, right? I wasn't alone in my process. So the problem here is students are struggling to find and or pay for academic help. They're unsuccessfully looking for ways to barter their academic skills. And the most important one here is they are not using the school provided tutors. That means schools are dumping money into a program that we are just not using. The problems for the schools. Did you know that 55% of freshman year students won't even make it back for a sophomore year? There's a lack of information and understanding on student behavior and interests, and there's a lack of communication from the school to the students. So the solution here has to be a platform for students to connect, match, and barter with each other based upon their academic skill sets that analyzes student data. So here's a quick user workflow. You're going to sign up, create a profile highlighting academic skills. You're matching based upon complementary skills. You're messaging and bartering based upon those skills that you sort of highlighted in your profile. And you're connecting and establishing true relationships with students around you. Here's a quick overview of the app itself. Like I said, it's a very quick and easy sign-up process. It'll look and function much like a social media / dating app, but now you're matching based upon your academic credentials. Again, the flow looks very similar to what students are used to, so the learning curve is very minimal. So as of 2019, in America, there's about 5,300 different schools. Our target market as of now are schools that have 3 credentials. Number 1, they're private. Number 2, they're small, as in they're less than 5,000 students. And number 3, they're centralized. Now, how we reach the market. In the beginning, when we started out, we did whatever we can to get in front of as many students as possible. So what we did was we did a ton of promotional events on campuses where I would travel across the East Coast to a different campus every week, making sure we got our word out there. We make sure our social media presence is top notch. We do trade shows and events. And we also focus on a lot of webinars. So the webinars and trade shows are used mostly for the schools and the department chairs themselves, but for the students, we want to make sure social media is there and we are on your college campus. So some traditional approaches that you would normally see to find academic help would be a paid tutor, right? If you have the money to pay for one, it's easy to find that help. But again, it's not free, there's no user incentive, you're not connecting with another student, and it's normally not mobile accessible. Okay, so you don't have money, you're gonna go to a school provided service. Well, that's gonna be free, but it's not easy to find help. It's an inconvenience to actually find someone to work with. Yeah, you're getting that student-to-student connection, but it's almost forced, right? Because they have to be there. And again, that's something that's not mobile accessible. So now, if you don't feel like going to that tutor, you're gonna go on your social media and you're gonna blast something out. Okay, that may be free, but it's not gonna be necessarily easy, right? You're blasting out a general question to the entire market, and you may or may not find someone that knows what you're talking about. Student-to-student connection, maybe, maybe not. And again, yes, that is mobile accessible. So some new options nowadays to find that academic help. One would be Chegg. Now Chegg is this all-encompassing platform, started out as a book renting platform, but now they do a ton of stuff with mentoring. They give you the answers to the back of the book, things of that nature. So they're pretty much that all-in-one package deal. But again, there's no school incentive for the schools to really want to gravitate towards an idea like Chegg. It is not free, it is not open source, and there's no student connections. Tutory is an app where you can find student tutors So you're going to sign up either as a tutee or a tutor based upon your area. You're going to find someone within your range. Again, not free, you're not getting any data feedback, the school has no incentive to download or integrate with the app, and it's not open source. And finally, Quizlet, which is probably the most popular for students. It is a free open source platform for you to kind of write in questions and answers. There is no data feedback on that, there's no school incentive. Again, it is open source, so if I know something and I can write that in the whole platform, you can now view that. But there is no direct student connection. So Stunited, we are free. Again, we have that instant connection to relatable connection, so you're not matching with someone that's 50 years old and outside of your state that has no clue what you're talking about. It removes the stigma of tutoring. Again, this is a big point that we want to get across. I want students to feel comfortable in the environment that they're at, so it's okay to know that you're not necessarily good at something because you just saw John Smith write that he's also not good at that, in addition to what you're saying. So it makes people feel comfortable with removing that stigma of saying, okay, I can ask for help. There is a user and school incentive. The school incentive is the data collection that we will be receiving or giving to them, and the user incentive is to get help in return. The recognizable platform functionality allows for a small learning curve, which is going to help gravitate students to the platform. Our revenue stream is a licensing SaaS model. So Stunited will license software for a semester or year fee to schools in exchange for real-time analysis of student data and the ability to communicate directly with the app itself. We are raising $150,000. Most of that's going to go towards web and app development, a little bit, or addition of marketing, another $50,000. There's going to be some overhead expense as we start to grow, an additional $20,000, and the data collection and analytics. Our big focus here is we want to be able to handle as many partners as possible. So we don't want to run into the problem of we have all these schools coming at us and we just can't handle it. Here's some projections. As you can see, by year 3, we have a gross profit of $1.8 million. Our total of variable costs and fixed costs will total up to about 1.2. That's with the fact that we are reinvesting about 40% back into our company because we feel strongly that we want to be a growth company, and everything that we make is going to go right back into making sure that we can handle, like I said, as much as possible moving forward. Some milestones that we plan to hit and are hitting as of late or as of recent. We're going to pilot with Felician University in September. We have a plan to joint venture with Rowan University as of December 2019. We're going to secure licensing to 5 schools as of June 2020, securing 10 licensing to schools June 2021, and partnership with an SIS, Student Information System, a Canvas, a Black Revolution as of 2022. Our Stunited team, as you can see, I surround myself with people that know what I don't know as in technology. CTO, CFO, and our senior developer, Chris Spanos, David, and Harrison. They are the tech guys. They are what run the operation of the app itself. Eddie Henry and Anthony Dapolito, they are my co-brand executives. I want them to be essentially mini versions of myself on their school campuses. Here's my advisory board. These are people that have been around the edtech space or the startup space and know what it takes to build a successful company. Thank you very much. I'm very open to answer any questions.